What's inside? A plant cell, mitochondria, vacuole, nucleus, cytoplasm, cell membrane, cell wall, and chloroplast. And how are cells organized? We explained in the previous lesson, cell form tissues, tissues form organs, and organs work together in organ system. And what is the main difference between the way unicellular and multicellular organisms are organized? All this idea we have talked in the previous lessons, and some vocab, and what is the difference between plant and animal cells, what's alike, and about the definition of organism, any living thing that can carry out its life on its own. Cell, the smallest unit of living things. Unicellular, one-celled organisms. Multicellular, many-celled organisms. Chlorophyll, a green chemical in plant cell that allows plant to use the sun's energy to make food. Tissue, a group of similar cells that work together at the same job. Organ, a group of tissues working together to do a certain job. Organ system, a group of organs that work together to do certain job. Now we'll start and listen to classifying life. Classifying life. Why are we put a kitchen in groups? Why are we put kitchen items in the groups? According to similarity or differences? Who can answer? Why?
According similarities.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Now, what is the best way to put living things into groups? In your opinion, who can answer me? In similarities or differences? What are the best way to put living things into groups? According similarities or differences?
Kingdoms.
I know, but similarities or differences? You will try to arrange it.
Differences.
No, similarities. Similarities is better. Similarities because maybe similar in color, in job, in authorities. Now, can you count some groups of living things? Any idea?
6.
That's number. Raise your hand. When you answer, raise your hand. Okay. There's many of different organisms, and scientists organize these organisms by sorting, classifying into groups according, for example, shared characteristics. And because it has some advantages, help the scientists identify, study, group, and name organisms. Now let's see. Classifying life. We will define classification, kingdom, species, vertebrate, invertebrate, vascular, non-vascular. How are organisms classified? Scientists classified organisms by sorting them into groups according to shared characteristics. Shared characteristics. Okay. Now, Yasin.
Yes, Yes, mister.
You have questions?
No.
Okay. Now, look to the figures: species, genus, family, order, class, phylum, kingdom. Now let's see a video. Watch the video.
Think about something you have in great abundance. Maybe your digital music collection. You may have many songs by many different artists that span many different types of music. What if you wanted to organize this music collection so you could easily and quickly find a specific song? How would you go about doing this? You wouldn't just throw all the songs into one big folder. That would make it impossible to find the song you wanted. Maybe you could start off by organizing music by genre: rock music, country music, indie rock, and funk. This would help, but you would still have a lot of very different songs in each folder. You could organize it further, and within each genre, group them by artist. This would provide a little more organization. From there, you could organize the different songs of an individual artist by the album. Then, only 8 to 20 songs would be in each folder. Finally, you might want to make sure each song is labeled by its own individual name. This organization would help you to easily find a song that you wanted without listening to hundreds of songs first. Scientists classify all living things in a similar manner. They're organized into different groups based on similarities between their lineage, physiology, and genetic makeup. When classifying organisms, scientists start at the most inclusive, or biggest group, and end at the least inclusive, or smallest group. Let's go ahead and use humans as an example. We'll classify humans all the way from the most inclusive group, domain, to the least inclusive group, species. Let's start at the top with domain. There are 3 domains, and all living organisms fall into one of these. Humans are in domain Eukarya. The next most inclusive group is kingdom. Humans belong to kingdom Animalia, or the animal kingdom. Within each kingdom, organisms are further divided into phylums. Humans fall into the phylum Chordata, along with dogs, fish, monkeys, and birds. These are all organisms that have a backbone. Within each phyla, organisms are grouped into classes. Humans belong to the class Mammalia, or mammals. These are organisms that have fur and produce milk. This class still includes dogs and monkeys, but excludes fish and birds. Within each class, organisms are grouped into different orders. Humans belong within the order Primates, along with monkeys. Dogs are not included in this order. Within each order, organisms are grouped further into families. Humans belong to the family called Hominidae. The great apes, including chimpanzees, gorillas, and orangutans, are also included in this family, but other monkeys are not. Within each family, organisms are grouped into a genus category. Humans are within the genus Homo. They are the only living organisms within this genus, but other genera may have several different organisms within it. Finally, each genus is divided into species. Humans belong to the species Sapiens. Scientists typically refer to specific organisms by genus and species. When written, these 2 groups are always written in italics, or underlined if handwritten. The genus name is written first, and it's capitalized. The species name is written second, and is not capitalized. There are a lot of useful memory tricks for learning the classifications of life, but here's a simple mnemonic that may help you memorize the first letter of each level. Dear King Peter came over for good soup.
Okay. Okay, now, who can read the first passage? Who can read the first passage? We explained about the classification. Live. Talha.
Yes, mister.
Yes, can you read first passage? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Thank
How
you.
are organisms classified?
Yeah.
There are millions of different organisms on Earth.
Yeah.
Scientists organize these organisms by sorting or classifying them into groups according to certain
Okay.
characteristics.
Stop now. Stop now. Here, there are generous numbers, millions of different organisms on Earth. And about the classification, scientists organize these organisms by number one, sorting or classifying. Yes, continue. Continue. Okay. Charvel. Charvel,
Yes.
continue. Charvel, continue.
Classification
Yeah.
has been called the science of finding patterns.
Okay,
Classifying
stop here.
helps.
Stop here, please. The definition of classification, the science of finding patterns. The science of finding patterns. If I ask you, define classification, you have to write the science,
The science of
science of finding patterns. Yes, continue. Charvel.
classifying helps scientists identify, study, group, and name organisms.
Okay, stop, please. If I ask you, fill in the blanks. Classifying helps scientists, one, identify, two, study groups, and name organisms. These advantages for classifications. Yes, Ahmed Mufid. Ahmed Mufid. Complete one classification system. Yes.
One classification system used
Yeah.
today divides all organisms into 6 major groups called kingdoms.
Okay, stop. How many number of groups? If I ask you how many number of groups,
6
it's
major.
it
6
yes, 6. Number of group it's 6. Yeah. Continue.
group called kingdom. The broadest group an organism is classified into is a kingdom.
Kingdom. It's a large. It's a large. It's called kingdom. Yeah. We can. I cannot show. It's a large kingdom. It's a large. It's here. It's a large. Yes. Continue.
Rather than outward characteristics,
Yes.
such as color, kingdoms are grouped by
Internal form. Internal form, and it can classify internal form
and oh, sorry, I can't see.
genus.
And structure scientists
Genus and species. Species. Okay? Thank you. Thank you. Now, Eliazar.
Yes.
Yes.
The narrowest group and organism can be classified into is a species.
Yeah, species.
A
Species.
species contains only organisms that are very closely related. A horse and a zebra share many traits, but
Many traits. Yeah.
but they are not similar enough to be the same species. However, a horse and a pony are so similar that they are the same species.
Okay. Here you can see horses, the properties between horses The narrowest group is called species. Species contains only organisms. If you look to the figures, what is the difference between a horse and zebra? Horse and zebra share many traits. Horse and zebra, you can look page 35. Page 35. Open your book, page 35. Look to the figures. Page 35. Horse and zebra share many traits. But the similar is not enough between the both to be in the same species. Not here between species and genus. Zebra in family, species, horse and species. It has many similar properties, but not enough to put the both in the same classes. Yes, Ahmed. Ahmed.
No, Mister, I want to answer.
Yes, Ahmed. Continue reading. I put Zoom. Read. The narrowest group. Okay. Ubada Ramzi. Ubada Ramzi. Ubada, are you hear me? Yes,
Yes, Mister.
Yes, read the narrowest group.
The narrowest group
Yeah.
an organism can be classified into is a species. A species contains only organisms that are very closely related. A horse and zebra share many traits, but they are not similar enough to be same species. However, a horse and a pony are so similar that they are same species.
Okay, thank you. Here we can explain. We can say scientists may have made decisions based on what they could see. Now, I want to ask you a question. What is the broadest classification group? What is the broadest classification group? Page 35. Page 35. You can look to the figures, to the pictures. What is the broadest classification group? The narrowest group. Number one, only 3 students, only. What about the others? Ahmed Mufid. Ahmed Mufid. Broadest classification group. It's in the top.
What?
What is the broadest classification group? Broadest means largest.
The kingdom.
Yes, excellent, excellent. Noroist,
Suspicious. Suspicious.
species, species. Yes, species. Here you can write protest kingdom. Kingdom. Northwest, spe. Write the answers for this question. Now, why do scientists use only the genus and species names to identify an organisms and not all of the classification groups? You have 1 minute to think about the questions. There's many answers. There's many answers. Adam Husari. Adam Husari.
Yes.
Why do scientists use only the genus and species names to identify an organism and not all of the classification groups? Any idea in your mind?
No.
Okay, I will tell you, my students. Using all the names would be awkward. Would be awkward. Yes, you can write. Using all the names would be awkward. Most dangerous. It means most dangerous. Now we are gonna to page 36. Page 36. Ahmed Mufid.
Yes.
Read the first passage.
What are animals?
What makes organisms in the animal kingdom? Yeah.
Different from organisms in the other kingdoms.
Important question. Yes, continue.
Animals are completely multicellular. Plants and animals are the only kingdom that include only multicellular.
Okay, stop here. Put highlight here. Plants and animals are the only kingdoms that include only multicellular organisms. We can't put the both. Plants and animals are that only kingdoms that include only multicellular organisms. Yes, continue.
Two other kingdoms, fungi and protists, have both unicellular and multicellular.
Okay. Fungi and protists have both unicellular and multicellular, so that we can put the both in the same group. Fungi and protists have both unicellular and multicellular species. Here we classify according to properties. We have to be punctual in classifications. Animal kingdom, vertebrates. Let's see, vertebrates, invertebrates. we will distinguish between vertebrate and invertebrate. Dragonfly, sponge, inside the sea, jellyfish, cow, fish. Adam Husari,
Yes.
read animals don't make their own food.
Plants can make their own food, but animals must consume other organisms to get energy. Also, planets. Cells have cell walls. Unlike planets, animal cells do not have cell walls.
Okay, thank you. Here we have to distinguish between plants and animals. Plants make their own food by itself, but the animals, it can't. It depends on other organisms to get the energy, like the cow, for example. Okay, but the plants by, what is the name of process that make plants get energy? Who can give me what is the name of process that make plants get energy by itself? Yasin Ahmed. Yasin Ahmed.
Yes.
Yasin Ahmed. What is the name of process that make plants get energy by itself? What about chlorophyll?
Yes.
Chlorophyll, plants, it make their own food by itself. Yes. Now, Marwan Wali, Marwan,
Yes.
read please. Many animals are capable of
Many animals are capable of moving from place to place. Plants only move when carried by wind, water, or animals.
Okay, thank you. Here there are freedom for some animals. Many animals are capable of moving from place to place because it has many different properties. Plants only move when carried by the wind. We know the wind carries the plants from place to other place. Water or
Mr.
animals. Yes? Yes? You have
What mean
question?
fungi?
Fungi?
Yes, what mean fungi?
Okay, I will make you see. It's fungi. Okay? It's fungi.
Looks like mushroom.
Yeah. Mushroom. It's mushroom, yeah. Okay? Okay, now complete. Who can complete the animals kingdom? The animals kingdom. Who can read? Safe. 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 Safe iPad. Okay, Rami.
Yes. Okay.
Continue. The animals, yes.
The animal kingdom is one of the largest kingdoms. The animal kingdom features 9 phyla that belong to two major groups, vertebrates and invertebrates. A vertebrate is an animal with a backbone. An animal without a backbone is an invertebrate.
Okay, here we have to distinguish. Okay, here we have to distinguish between vertebrate and invertebrate. Vertebrate with backbones. Invertebrate without backbones. If I ask you, what is the difference between vertebrate and invertebrate? Only vertebrate with a backbone. Who can give me an example? Who can give me an example? Marwan,
Yes, mister.
can you give me an example about vertebrate with a
Yes.
backbone? Animal with a backbone.
Okay, an elephant.
Elephant. Yes, elephant. Yes. Okay. Now, invertebrate. Who can complete? Here. I will choose Charbel.
Yes.
Complete.
The snake does have a backbone.
Invertebrate.
The snake does have a backbone.
Yeah. Complete from here. Invertebrate.
Invertebrate
Yeah.
phyla include the mollusks,
Mollusks. Yeah.
echinoderms, and arthropods,
Yes.
arthropods,
Clams
mollusks,
and
such as clams and snails, and the mainly shelled animals.
animals. Yes. Echinoderms. Yeah.
Echinoderms include sea stars,
Sea
sea
stars,
cucumbers, and sea urchins.
Sea cucumbers, yes, and sea urchins, yeah.
Urchins.
Here, look to the scene, to the pictures. Animal kingdom, vertebrate. This is an example: fish, snake, skunk. An example about invertebrates: dragon, fly.
Mister,
Okay. Now, do
somebody
you have any questions, my sons?
no, mister, but can you go to the first page? To the first page because I want to highlight. Because I want to highlight.
Page 34. 34?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Ahmed Mufid. Ahmed Mufid.
Yes, mister. What is the difference from vertebrates and invertebrates?
Who can answer the questions? It's so easy. Vertebrate.
I know, Mr.
Yes, Yasin. Yasin.
Vertebrate that animals have a backbone, but invertebrate and animals that don't have backbone.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, my dear students, I was so happy with you, but the time's up. I'm so sorry. See you later, inshallah, in next lesson. Be ready and good luck.
Bye.
Bye.